Last weekend, people across Texas were called on to conserve electricity. It came amid surging temperatures and an unexpected temporary loss of 6 power generators. The lights and AC stayed on, but it renewed concerns about the potential for outages this summer. But on Monday, ERCOT released some encouraging news. The state's electric grid operator says the state will have enough power to handle the record demand expected this summer. For Insight, our Daniel Marin asked 2 energy experts whether they agree.
It's really hot outside.
Escaping the heat at this Central Austin splash pad, Gabby Valenzuela and her little one Lennon say they have been doing their part to conserve energy at home as the city cranks up the AC.
We're pretty much out all day, so there's really no need to use a whole lot of it during the day, or at least we try.
As we approach summer, ERCOT says it expects the grid will have sufficient power generating capacity from June through September. According to its seasonal assessment, ERCOT expects peak demand to hit about 77,000 megawatts. That's a new record driven by the state's growth. It anticipates there will be about 91,000 megawatts available during that time, a buffer of about 14,000.
I think the summer peak estimate sounds reasonable.
Hao Zhu teaches power system analysis at UT Austin. She says ERCOT's numbers do track with what she's been seeing over the last few years. But the estimates in this summer's report are based on normal operating conditions.
High stress situations, there are potential problems that we could have with the grid.
Michael Jewell is an energy sector attorney. He points out the report says the grid could run into trouble if there are widespread outages at natural gas, coal, and nuclear facilities and/or problems with wind generation.
Are these things that can happen? Absolutely.
After living through the 2021 winter storm, Valenzuela says she's hoping ERCOT's on top of it.
I'm going to trust that they're not going to let that happen again, hopefully. So they've got a lot riding on their shoulders, I guess.
Daniel Marin, State of Texas.
Questions about the grid amid the growing demand for electricity is an issue in the race for governor. Democratic challenger Beto O'Rourke pointed out how wholesale electricity prices surged last weekend. He tweeted, quote, "When you get your electricity bill next month, blame Greg Abbott, who still hasn't fixed the grid." Governor Abbott, meanwhile, is pointing to progress by power companies and policies made by Texas lawmakers. His office sent us a statement that pointed out Texas has more power generation capacity this year. The statement also said reforms enacted by the legislature provide the PUC and ERCOT tools to swiftly respond to challenges like the brief loss of 6 generators to meet the state's high demand. Questions over text tag data led to some toll road drivers going months without getting billed, but the cost for customers kept rising. Our investigation spotlights technology problems still plaguing a state agency. To stand trial, you have to be mentally competent to participate in your defense, but the number of Texans waiting in jail for treatment at a state hospital continues to climb. We dig deeper into this health crisis as leaders grapple with solutions.